When Tim Scott, the first black senator from the South since Reconstruction, appeared on The View, tensions were high. Known for its sharp, liberal commentary, the show set the stage for what would quickly escalate into a heated exchange. As soon as Scott sat down, the conversation turned contentious. It began innocently with Ana Navarro discussing Disney's political stances, but things took a turn when Whoopi Goldberg raised the issue of systemic racism. She questioned how Scott, as a black Republican, could reconcile his party's views with the realities of racial inequality. Scott was unflinching. Instead of backing down, he methodically deconstructed their arguments, challenging their assumptions about race, politics, and the role of government in addressing inequality. His composed yet direct responses left the hosts visibly taken aback. What started as a casual discussion soon became a full-blown confrontation, exposing the stark divisions in how race and politics are understood in America. By the end of the segment, it was clear that Scott's calm but assertive rebuttals had shaken the very foundation of the hosts' narratives. This episode quickly became one of the most talked about and controversial moments in the history of The View.
The ladies on The View, they tried to give me a lecture on race issues. I blew up their talking points. I shattered them all over the floor. It got so bad that they had a producer run on the stage to cut me off. Because conservatism, you got it, baby. Conservatism.
Sunny Hostin immediately challenged Tim Scott, asking if he believed his success was an exception, implying that systemic racism still dominated the experience of Black Americans. The room grew tense as the audience awaited his response. Unshaken, Scott delivered a powerful rebuttal, calling it a dangerous and offensive message to suggest that success was only for the exceptional. He shared his own journey, growing up in poverty, raised by a single mother, and eventually reaching the Senate. For Scott, his story wasn't an anomaly, but a testament to what's possible in America, defying the notion that success is out of reach.
Let's answer the question that you've answered.
Or does it even exist in your mind?
Let me answer the question this way. One of the things I think about, and one of the reasons why I'm on the show, is because of the comments that were made, frankly, on this show, that the only way for a young African-American kid to be successful in this country is to be the exception and not the rule. That is a dangerous, offensive, disgusting message to send to our young people today, that the only way to succeed is by being the exception.
Scott continued by highlighting tangible progress, referencing milestones like an African-American president, vice president, and leaders in key industries. He pointed out the diversity of news anchors across major networks as evidence of change. Despite the hosts' discomfort and attempts to interrupt, Scott firmly asserted that while America isn't flawless, it is making strides. He emphasized the importance of focusing on solutions rather than assigning blame, stressing that progress is real and measurable.
Here's what I'm going to suggest. I'm going to suggest the fact of the matter is that progress in America is palpable. It can be measured in generations. I look back at the fact that my grandfather, born in 1921 in Sally, South Carolina, when he was on a sidewalk, a white person was coming, he had to step off and not make eye contact. That man believed then, with some doubt now, in the goodness of America, because he believed that having faith in God, faith in himself, and faith in what the future could hold for his kids would unleash opportunities in ways that you cannot imagine. Every kid today can look, just change the stations and see how much progress has been made in this country. ABC, NBC, CBS, ESPN, CNN, Fox News all have African-American and Hispanic hosts. So what I'm suggesting is that the yesterday's exception is today's rule.
Whoopi Goldberg challenged Scott, questioning if the Republican Party truly prioritized racial issues. Scott acknowledged that both parties had shortcomings, but pointed out that Democrats often fuel division rather than promoting unity. He stressed that discrimination transcends political parties, emphasizing that the focus should be on addressing the core issue and improving efforts from both sides.
as a nation, because as a nation, we seemingly get on the right track and then we go backwards. So you as a black man and as one of the, are there two black?
Senators?
Yeah. That's three.
Yes.
But you yourself have talked about when the police stopped you.
Absolutely.
So how can you get your party to stop trying to stop the progression that people are making?
Yeah, so
that's what I complained about when I spoke about it. I want you to come out and say, listen, the Republicans have these issues.
Sunny pressed Scott, asking him to define systemic racism. Calmly, Scott replied that systemic racism doesn't define America, using his own life as evidence. He argued that focusing on possibilities rather than problems leads to success. Highlighting the low African-American unemployment rates under Republican leadership, he underscored the power of economic empowerment. The audience responded with applause, a rare moment of agreement amidst a heated exchange.
Things you have to do is look at the statistical realities. We brought African-American unemployment, when we cut the taxes, down to the lowest level in the history of this country. For the first time under 6%, it hit 5.4%. We saw this nation is making measurable progress in real time. And if we focus on that and continue to make progress, we will fulfill the notion that this is the nation that can become more perfect. And what I am concerned about
fixing the structures and the systemic racism that is embedded in
the fact of the matter is that we don't have to agree. We don't have to agree on the fact that...
As the debate heated up, Tim Scott took aim at Joy Behar for past comments suggesting he didn't understand systemic racism. But here's the twist. Joy wasn't even present to defend herself. Scott pointed out the irony, referencing her history with blackface and questioning why she, of all people, was lecturing him on race. The room fell silent. And then suddenly, the show cut to a commercial break. Critics quickly accused The View of using the break to regain control of a conversation that was slipping away. Was it a coincidence or a strategic move? That's for you to decide. What transpired during Scott's appearance was about more than just a clash between him and the hosts. It touched on a larger conversation about race, politics, and progress in America. Scott's position was clear. One side emphasizes the nation's flaws, while the other sees its potential. He argued that narratives of victimhood hold people back, whereas stories of success, like his own, can inspire forward momentum. While America isn't perfect, it's still the best place to realize one's dreams. The fallout has been significant. Supporters praised Scott for standing firm and calling out hypocrisy, while critics accused him of downplaying systemic issues. The View itself has faced backlash for allegedly silencing opposing perspectives. In the end, Scott didn't just defend his views, he actively challenged theirs, presenting a powerful mix of facts, personal stories, and a message of hope. So, what do you think? Did Scott expose biases, or were the hosts justified in their critiques? Feel free to share your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel for more content.